Together, we're going to break down the 8 steps to a successful launch for new entrepreneurs. This video will clarify the process for a successful launch, answer all of your questions, and most importantly, show you how to build momentum to ensure that your business gets off to a successful launch. Let's get into it. As a new business, you feel as though you're constantly playing catch up. Everything feels like a priority. Well, it is. And the reason being is because no one knows that you exist. So you've got to get a strategy in place. You've got to have everything up and running and working in harmony. Sit back and focus on specifics or the details of streamlining your day-to-day operation. But you've got to get to that point first. So it's going to be important in every aspect of business. There's no way around it. From producing your product, providing your services, managing your money, and of course, marketing your business. Now, these 8 steps, they're in progressive order, steps 1 through 8. However, even if you've started to do some of the things on this list already, that's okay. Actually, that's great. So use this information to make sure you have all your ducks in a row and make sure that you're on the right track to success. Step 1, a central content location. Now, I'm purposely calling it a central content location because I realize that sometimes you cannot or do not start with a website, or maybe you don't even know how to build a website. But sometimes you're just not quite sure what products you're going to sell or what services you're going to offer. And a website for some entrepreneurs is just premature in the beginning stages, and that's okay. So because of that, you should at least have a central content location, because no matter where you hear or read, you can start a business, you're still going to need a central content location where you're driving people to, building your audience, getting to know your audience, educating your audience, engaging your audience, and of course, selling to your audience. You've got to do that somewhere. And confirm, validate, make sure that you know what products and what services you want to sell, what direction you want to take your business in. So the goal here is to determine, is there an interest in what the things that you want to offer? Maybe you want to blog, maybe you want to write, maybe you want to create your own social media group or engage with the community on your YouTube channel. But the point is, where you build this is where your audience lives. It's where they are. If your central content location has features, if it allows you to collect emails for audience members to join, you want to use these types of features. But I want you to understand how to use this entire location properly. This is not for selling, okay? So do as much engaging as you possibly can in capturing contact information. Build your audience and validate your idea. Step 2 is to start creating that content, because the entire purpose of creating your content is to inform, to educate, engage with your audience. Find out as much as you possibly can. And there's going to be 2 types of audience. There's going to be those that have no idea you exist. So you're creating content that's going to get attention and help you find already started to engage, already started to post content. You're going to take them to the next level of engagement. So you should be aware of what they need, what they're looking for, or what they're looking for next. So when you're creating your content, you want to think about the types of content. Is your audience full of readers? And maybe even mix some of it up so that you're getting a variety of types of content. Pay attention to who you're talking to when you create your content. Is your audience at different stages of using your product and services? If so, you want to talk to the beginners, you want to talk to the intermediate, you want to talk to the advanced potential customers in different ways. And you also want to think about how you can automate the content. You can consistently get content out more efficiently to your audience. So what's the plan for creating content, and when are you going to create that content? Step 3 is to implement, promote, post, broadcast your content. Considering you know who you're talking to, you want your content to get attention. Think about where you're going to advertise the content that you're creating. You may create the content to post it in your groups for your audience, but how are you going to go outside of your group, attract attention, constantly bring and curate an audience? If you're building an audience, let's say in a Facebook group, how are you going to post and promote and broadcast that you have a group? Where are you going to promote and broadcast that you have a group so that you can build that group? The same thing for building an email list. If they're not already on your list, where are you going to promote and broadcast and post that you have an email list and you have content that you need your audience to see when they sign up for your email list? Step 4 is the building of your audience. You're giving them content, but you need to keep them engaged. Starting out with content is really important because it's going to give you that guide of where you're going. And that content plan is the foundation of your overall strategy. When will you offer this content? How often? What do you want to talk about? What types of content will you offer so that you can communicate what you want to talk about? Will it be spreadsheets, template, PDF document, video? With each piece of content, why are you offering it? Is it going to trigger conversation? What is the purpose of each piece of content that you create? Step 5, this is where you want to consider the actual home for your business, your actual website. Be a blog. It can also be a marketplace like eBay or Etsy, but remember, when you do that, you don't own it. So you're going from platform to platform. Your whole point is to own your contacts, own your audience. But if you wake up tomorrow morning and Facebook is shut down, or Facebook charges you just to access your own group, it's because you never owned them. Whereas if they've signed up for your email list, it doesn't matter what social media platform you're on. It doesn't matter if your web provider shut down and you had to go from building it on GoDaddy to building it on BigCommerce. You still own that email list. So ultimately, you want to send them to the actual home of your business. When you send them to the home of your business, what more information is there? What will you offer? How will you offer it? What is the benefit of your website versus the central content location? What other bells and whistles can you include? What more can you do? Because your website is where you should go all out with features, products, services, and everything else. And it's also the place where you make the sale. So now you know exactly what you're offering, who you're offering it to, why you're offering it, what problems they have, what problems you're solving. This is what your website is for you to establish yourself in the marketplace. Now, once you create this home, you want to be sure to add in all those bells and whistles of content. And one of the main reasons why that's important It's not so your audience can read it all over again. It's for SEO purposes. It's going to help you get found, and it's also going to attract even more prospects to discover where the heck are these other people coming from. They're finding you through Google search. However, why didn't you find them through Facebook? Were they Twitter users? These are the types of questions and information that you're going to gain as you start to expand your reach. But you can only expand your reach so far when you're using these platforms. Facebook is only going to let you do so much on Facebook, as with all the platforms. But once you're on the internet, you have content that Google understands who you are and what you're about. Now you're going to start to build up your content library and discover that you're being discovered by a variety of segments and where they're coming from. This is vital information because you want to capture this audience. You want to have those features that will allow you to capture the audience. You want to streamline your selling. Start to pre-launch. Step 7, because you know what you're going to offer and you know how you're going to operate. So it's really easy for you to start promoting coming to your website, the opening of your website or your storefront. You want to build up momentum, incentivize, invite your audience, reach out for new audiences, extend your reach with SEO, paid advertising. And then finally in step 8 is the actual launch. And this is where you have an audience for a successful launch. People are aware of you, and the people that are aware of you, most importantly, are interested in what you have to sell. And this is how, by building your audience. Now, I also want you to be aware of your post-launch activities. Once your business is launched, you're actually making sales, you're getting inquiries, everything's running at beginning stage capacity. So you may only 1 sale a day, 5 sales a day, 50 sales a day, versus 6 months from now or this time next year, you're going to be doing 5 times or 10 times because you're operating more efficiently. I want you to think about perfecting your processes when you only have one or two orders a day. I want you to think about, as you're doing this, that system that you had, is it most efficient? Is it top notch? Is it allowing you to pump out quality product, quality services? Is your time schedule adequate for enough time to give the best service that you can, create the best products? Adjust, streamline, perfect your processes, because this time next month, 6 months, or next year from now, when you're 5 times as busy, 10 times, stop and adjust how things are done because you're too busy getting things done. So this is the time at that post-launch activity to make any final changes to how you're doing business, or if you're doing business the right way or most efficiently. So what's the main takeaway from launching your business successfully? Is to prepare yourself for success by confirming the interest and the need and the demand in the product you want to offer. Is to create the content to confirm that your audience is willing or wants to pay for what you plan to offer. It is to launch your business with an undergird of support of interested and paying prospects. Is to adjust your offer to your target audience, to ensure that you are offering solutions to their problems and a full scope of solutions as well. 8 steps to get your business up and running.